Hello, and welcome to the studio. If you're new here, my name's Nora, and in this podcast I talk about knitting, sewing, spinning, and whatever creative pursuit I'm into at the moment. And if you've been here before, welcome back. You can see that we're still in the living room because the light is just a little bit better. Join me today as we dive into Me Made May, a heap, stack, mountain of finished objects, some works in progress, a lot of plans and acquisitions, and at the end I have some Texel Island yarn store and sea footage for you. So stick around if you want to go with me on a little trip to my favorite island. Let's get into it. Alright, so today, the day that I'm recording this podcast, is Sunday, the 1st of May, and the 1st of May is usually, for me, since I think 3 years, the kickoff of Me Made May. If you're not familiar with Me Made May, it's a sort of challenge, but not really. It's a sort of challenge, and it is set up by Zoe from the So blog, which I will link below. And it's actually the 13th year that she's running the challenge. And it's not really a challenge, but I'm going to read a bit from her blog because I can't really explain it otherwise. I will also link the blog post below and our Instagram handle and everything. So Me Made May is a wardrobe challenge that helps you improve your relationship with your handmade items. It can also teach you what to make and not to make in the future. To participate, you need to wear your handmade items more often or in some way differently to how you usually get dressed. This is an individual challenge, so you will decide on the specifics for yourselves. The point of doing this is to give yourself the opportunity to learn some useful lessons and or alter how you feel about those items. There is no set single pledge because everyone is different with different lives and different goals. So participants set the specifics on their own pledge so that it'll be challenging and useful for them. The challenge happens by setting specifics for yourself that will be a bit difficult but doable. So last year I made a picture of my outfit every day and I pledged to wear a me-made garment every day. But that was before I really got into knitting, so I only wore hand-sewn items, or partly. I also tried to do weekly posts on Instagram, and even though I did make a picture of my outfit every day, I only posted 2 weeks, and then the second 2 weeks I have all the pictures, but I just never got around to posting. Last May I was in the midst of my burnout, so posting to Instagram was just very difficult. This year what I'm going to try is to also wear mostly me-mades and see what I'm really missing, or what I should make more of, or what I shouldn't make anymore. As you might notice, I'm wearing a dress today. I'll put in a clip because I can't really show it, but it's the Q dress, and I forgot by whom it is, and I sewed it up in this lovely dead stock fabric that has little unicorns on it. That I got from Sew Me Sunshine back when Brexit wasn't a thing and ordering from the UK was really easy. But I really like this dress, but I'm not sure if I feel myself in it. And it might just be because I'm not used to wearing dresses, or it might be because I don't like wearing this particular dress. So what I want to try and find out this Me Made May is whether either is the case. So is it dresses? Is it this specific model design. It's quite open here, which I generally don't really like. I like things like this high or something. So I'm wearing a slip underneath, but it's still, it's not even revealing. But I feel a bit weird in it. But I do like this dress, and you'll see it right here. But so I guess my pledge is, and you are my witness, that I'm going to try and wear me maids every day. I'm going to try and make pictures of it. I'm not going to pledge that I'm going to post about it, but I do think I will do little compilations of my outfits at the end of episodes if I happen to shoot one during May, which I will probably do. Hey, we have a little visitor, Samwise, the kitten. Well, he's a cat. He's probably not gonna come say hi, but he is checking out the chaos around me. If you hear noise from outside, I'm really sorry. It's 11 in the morning, it's Sunday, and people are waking up. Hi, come here. Oh, we have a rare appearance of Sammy. Look, it's Sammy. Sammy's very autonomous. He will come and cuddle, but you can't really pick him up. Well, you can, but you have to kind of wrangle him, which is fine, but it'll also stare at you. Okay, so me made. I will link all the resources down below. And yeah, it's just a really fun way to try and incorporate me maids in a way that you haven't done before, or challenge yourself, or not challenge yourself. There's really no winning because it's such a personal thing. I think there's just a lot of learning to be done. Is it clear that I'm a teacher? All right. By the way, I'm drinking some coffee. I made a little sort of cappuccino with oat milk, which we had lying around. So I hope you have some knitting or crafting or other creative pursuits at hand and something to keep you cozy. It is the May holidays right now. I've had my first week and then I have a second week as well, but the weather has not been really good. It's been quite cold for April, May, and my first week of holiday was spent having a hospital or medical appointment every day except for Wednesday, which was King's Day. If you're not familiar with King's Day, in the Netherlands on the 27th, I guess, we celebrate our king, but it's not really about the king anymore. It's just everybody dresses up in orange, which is our national color, and I don't know, have fun. We went to a barbecue from friends, which was fun. Okay, now podcast. We're podcasting. Let's dive into the finished objects. I have a whole stack here that you can't see, and we're just going to go down the stack, I guess. So the first thing that I finished, I'm really proud of, is, you might have guessed it, the Vintersol sweater. It's a pattern by Jennifer Steingass. I knit it in Knitting for Olive Fine Merino. I held double. All the colors and stuff are in, I think, episode 5 or 4, where I started it. Yeah, and it's done. Last time I asked about my SSKs, which are quite noticeable, and I got a lot of great advice. I decided to go with the method where you slip the first one knitwise and then slip the second one purlwise and then knit them together through the front loop, and it's still noticeable but a little bit less. And I've been, as you can maybe see, I've already been wearing it. And it's really comfortable. This fine merino is really next to skin soft. Started to peel a bit, but it's really soft and I've been wearing it a ton. So, is that a crying kid outside? Maybe. Yeah, and I have to say that, so these are the arm, oh, they're so pale, sorry. This is the arm bit, and I think it went quite well, because in my previous sweaters, like the attachment where you pick up for the arms, there's usually quite a hole, and these are quite alright, you can see. And this pattern does some short rows in the back twice, I think, but it might be because I did the bind off. It's a 3-stitch picot bind off, I think. I think I did it too tightly, or the short rows are not enough, but this sweater tends to kind of rise up to my neck. Sammy. He's scratching at my favorite chair. Good. This sweater tends to kind of like rise up, and because this is so tight, it kind of rubs up against my neck, and I don't really like that feeling of anything touching my neck, really. So yeah, I don't know. Once again, I'm asking for advice. Do you think that is because the bind off is too tight and should I re-knit that, or is it just because I think there's only 4 or 5 short rows and then some shaping in the back, but maybe it's that it just like rises up, or could it be that my bust, because my bust is larger, that I should do more short rows or something? I don't know. Yeah, but I'm really proud of it. It's really comfy. The size is great. I did go up, I might have told you last time, but I did go up to a 4.5 for the color work on the sleeves, and then I did a 3.75 mil needle for the ribbing, and yeah, it's done and I'm very happy with it. Alright, that's the first. We have quite a stack. When I was prepping for this episode, I was like, oh, I don't think I have enough to talk about. Maybe I should wait. And then I start prepping. So I always write everything down in my notebook. And it's quite a bit. So let's get cracking. The second thing, yes, is mending, because part of my Me Made May challenge, which I haven't told you about yet, but I want to try and either mend or alter things that I don't like wearing to where I do like wearing them. And I started last month because I did some mending of jeans, but I also did an alteration. Why is everything so noisy? We'll wait. Yeah, you done? Okay, good. So I also did some mending and some alterations, and this one doesn't really count as an alteration, but it does make it 100% more likely that I'll wear this item. This is a dress. It's a green dress, and it has a button front. But because my bust is larger than the rest of, well, usually your bust is larger than the rest of you, but in relation, my bust is quite large, and the buttons on his dress always unpop themselves, and I didn't wear this dress at all because I either had to safety pin it close or tape it close. I just couldn't really wear it. But then I decided, because I never unbutton this dress on purpose, I just pop it over my head. So then I decided, why not just sew the whole front button placket shut and wear it? So that's what I did. And I literally probably, just sewed like a little thing all the way down on both sides. And now it's great for wearing. And success. And it was really easy. It was like, I think 5 minutes, just pinning it down neatly and sewing it. And then now I wear it again. So that's great. All right. I also mended my Dawn jeans, which you will have seen. Let's close the zip. I mended my Dawn jeans because they had worn through in the middle, or they always wear through I don't know, if you're a person with legs, you will probably have had jeans failing you around the crotch thigh area. And I'm not ready to say goodbye to these jeans yet because they're great. So what I did is, I'll show you. It's not pretty, but I'm going to show you anyways. So I ironed some fusible interfacing on the inside, and then I turn them around and I just zigzagged the life out of it, and it works great. I did choose the correct color because I did this on a different jeans as well, and I used the same thread, and there it was less successful, but I wear them anyways. And when I wear them, you can't really see it anyways, and if you can, you shouldn't be so close. So it's great. So I mended 3 pairs of jeans because I wore them all out, and now I can wear them again, which is great. Yeah. So, as you might have seen, this is the back detail, and then this is the other one, and I just did some easy embroidery on them, and I'm really happy with them. I wear them a ton because they're just staple jeans. So that's what I mended. Then more finished objects. Oh, I have 3 minutes left on this memory card. We'll see how far we get. Then I made a lot of baby capes because I like, well, I don't like, but I sell on my Etsy, I sell baby capes and project bags. Oh, now they're vacuum upstairs. I really should do this earlier in the day. Hold on. Okay, I think the neighbors have stopped vacuuming, no, using the vacuum cleaner. Today, I don't know, it's just the joys of living from a house, in a house that was built in somewhere around turn of the century, 1900, 1910s. And it's just, you hear everything, and I'm a bit late in recording, so yeah. Okay, so baby capes. Yeah, so in my Etsy shop I sell project bags and baby capes and baby hats and whatnot, but I ran out of baby capes because lots of babies being born, which is great. And my baby capes are made from toweling, so cotton or bamboo toweling, and then cotton jersey on the outside, because it makes them extra nice and warm. And you can, if you have a newborn who, you know, is swaddled in a blanket, you can turn it around so the soft jersey is on the inside, and you can use it as a blanket. But I made 4 baby capes, and I'm not sure what the best way is to show you them, but they're really cute. So I started with 2 that are the same. So they're little lions. Look at this. Isn't it cute? And then it's really big, so your baby can grow in it. Now on the inside, this is bamboo toweling, and then this is extra soft fleece, and it's so cute. So there's 2 of these. And then I have this shark fabric. Let's see. This one, which is really cute. And then it's just sharks. And then I had some, I really hope the sound is okay. Oh, there's people outside. Hold on. Sam the cat is staring at them for us. So I had some, quite a lot of the sharks left, but not enough for the width that I use, because my baby capes are 75 centimeters each direction, which makes them really big, which is great. But I only had this much left of the width of the electric sharks, which is what they're called. So I added some lions. And then this is the last one. And yeah, they're really great. Or so I've been told. I have a colleague who bought 3, and she has used them to death over the last, I think, 4 years. 3 maybe. So yeah, great reviews I get from these. Basically, I wish I had one for myself because they're really nice. So I made these. That's part of the pile. And then I also did some eco printing and project bag making, and I have some footage from that. So I'll let you watch that first, and then I'll catch up with you to talk about the finished objects. So get yourself a drink and enjoy this little compilation. So I've been eco printing for about 2 or 3 years now. I took a workshop with a friend of mine. What are they doing outside? Which the workshop was really nice, but I already kind of delved into books and such. I have 2 books that I can recommend for natural dyeing and eco printing as well. So the first one is a bit damaged because I used it a lot. It's called Wild Color by Jenny Dean. So it's this lovely book, and this is mostly about natural dyeing and not so much eco printing, but it also gives recipes how to prepare non-animal fibers, because I print on cotton. And then I also have this book, which is called Botanical Inks, and it's really nice. It's by Behan, and it also gives you several ways of eco dyeing, and it gives you dye bath methods, just basically everything you need. This one is really great if you mostly want to know how to print or dye, and this one is really great because it gives you, like, I'll show you a bit. So let's find a cool page. Sammy. Yeah, so for example, if you want to use blackthorn, it has this whole page. Oops, sorry. of how to use it, how to grow it as well, and then also which colors you can get when you use which modifier, and for the fruits and the shoots, and how to grow it. And it's just a really nice book. I do think that it would be even more useful to me if I had an actual garden, so I could grow my own dye stuff. But I don't, because I live on the second story in the corner of the building, so I don't have a garden or a balcony. But they're really nice books. Yeah, so I don't think I have footage of the finished products, but I have one left in fabric form, and it's just, wait, let me show you this one. It's just, look at those prints. And it's really funny because the two sides of the leaf, they give different colors. So I believe this is the back of the leaf, and then the front of the leaf gives a yellow. And these are autumn leaves that I got from the park in autumn, and I just froze them and I defrosted them and used them for printing. I also dyed with onion skins, as you might have seen, and I finished 6 large sweater bags, or project bags, because those seem to be most popular. I did run out of my labels, but I think I'm gonna save up some money that I make from Studio Nora and splurge on those little labels that you can stick in the side seam, that they just stick out. But so I made, let me just show you one of each. Let's do a cool one. Yeah. So I made, oh, it's blowing out really big. I think this is best. I will make pictures because the sun just came through. But these are the onion bags, and I got 2 more of them. My cat just has opinions, so there's 3 of them. And then I made 3 leaf bags, and I switched it up this time. So I ran out of the lining fabric that I usually use, which is an organic poplin, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I decided that I was just going to use unbleached cotton, basically the cotton that I use for printing as well, but then just the unprinted version, because then it's easy to find stuff, I guess, in the inside. And there's big pockets, one for like needles or pens, and one for your pattern. Little D-ring on the side. And I tried something new, but you can't really see it, but I sewed in my name, Studio Nora. But I'm gonna, if I sell some more, I'm going to buy the side seam labels, but you always have to order them in quite big quantity, so it costs, like, the labels themselves maybe cost 50 cents or €1, but I think the minimum amount is 100. So, you know, 100 euros it's both a lot and not a lot of money. But I'm going to save up some more profit before I do that. Yeah, so I'm really happy with them. I might even keep one for myself because I have broken the 1 sweater rule. 1 sweater in progress. So yeah, I just need to take pictures of these, and then they're ready. I also sewed up one more in rust on blue. I already had it half assembled, but I left it unfinished. Because, well, just because. Yeah, so I just need to take pictures of those and then pop them up on my Etsy. But it's quite like, I have this, what do you call it? Light box, I guess. But I have to make room for it, and I have to set it up and stuff. Okay. So I talked about the sweater, I talked about mending, baby capes, project bags. Oh yes, I also got my first hanks of my own spun yarn. this is the very first one, but it's really messy. But this one I'm actually quite proud of. Well, the first one too, because it was my first time spinning anything. But I'm going to make a actual niddy noddy because I just wrapped this on my arm. But look at it. It's yarn that I spun up from roving. The fiber content is everything because I got a big bag of everything when I bought my spinning wheel. My spinning wheel is an Ashton Kiwi 3. I'll pop in some footage because I am now working on this beautiful merino that I got, but that's for later. So yeah, that's a finished object. I still have to set the yarn, but first I want to build a niddy noddy so that, oh, this is not working. It's fine. Ooh, what's happening? I first want to make an actual niddy noddy so that this hank can be a better proportion because this is quite small. Okay, I'm just going to leave it because this is not working. Okay, so that is all my finished projects. Can you believe that I thought I didn't have enough to talk about in a podcast? It's so loud today. Why? Okay. Then we go to my works in progress. So first off, I want to thank everybody for the ideas for my mini skeins, for my advent calendar. I decided to ignore everybody's advice and make a scrap blanket. I think I already talked about it. It's a free pattern by Soho, Pearl Soho. I talked about it in the last episode, but this is what I have so far. It's not a lot, and it's going to go quite slowly because it's on 3.5 mil. But this yarn is really cool because it's almost like hand spun. So sometimes there's like these big baubles and yeah, I think it's just going to be a really fun blanket. And it's great to work on while you're waiting because it's just, you have to remember on the front you have one like thing you have to do, and then the back it's all garter really. So it's right now it's still portable, so I used it in the hospital a lot. Good news about the hospital, I'm done with my light therapy. My skin is doing really great, and for summer I just have to be in the sun quite a lot, and then hopefully in winter it won't be necessary to do the light therapy again. But it also means that I lost quite a lot of knitting time because I used to knit in a waiting room, but I don't have to do that anymore, so that's great. Work in progress. I also started my Rift Tea by Jacqueline Cieslak. So that's this one. And I made quite a lot of progress, but now I'm on the boring bit where I have to do a lot of purling, and I don't like purling because I'm slow. Oh, and this is not really in a state to show you. Sorry about that. But I made quite a lot of progress. So I started the front, I think. Yeah, the front. I'm going to do 2 different necklines. So it's reversible. I'm going to do a boat neckline. And then also a V-neck, which is probably going to go in the back. Because I feel fine exposing my back. I just, I don't know, I like this covered up. But yeah, it's in Mungo yarn by Rosa Pomar in this blue, which is color 13. And then also in this white, which is color 1. Yeah, and it's great. It smells a bit weird. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's spinning oil but it's made from pre-consumer waste. So it's half and half cotton and wool, sourced, spun, and dyed in Portugal or Spain. So it's quite local to me, I guess. Yeah, that's going great. Rifty has a really nice detail at the side where you do this ribbed, twisted rib. Yeah, and it's going great. Oh, losing stitches here. So that's my second work in progress. And then I have another work in progress. So I talked about how I wanted to make the Arbusto sweater by Rosa Pomar, which is this one. And I am using the yarn it was designed in, so the Brusca, also by Rosa Pomar, in color 5C. So this is the color, and this is made from fine wools of Saloia and Portuguese merino, 2 native sheep breeds from Portugal. I made quite a big swatch because I also wanted to practice the baubles, which I did quite a lot. So I started with baubles on the knit side, but this sweater is basically knit inside out, and then the outside is the purl side with the baubles. So I kind of forgot that. So first I made all these baubles on the knit side, and I don't like I think these are the baubles. There you go. These are the baubles that are prescribed in a pattern, but I thought they were too big. So then I tried a 3-stitch, but then I realized that it was all on the knit side, so I had to practice on the purl side. So this is the purl side, and then in the end I went for these baubles, which are 3-stitch baubles. I also did the 5-stitch, but it just kind of turned out wonky, and I don't mind them being quite small because it's just a little detail all over. Yeah, pretty happy with it. There's really not much to show, but I started the sweater. It's a top down, my preferred method, and it's a raglan construction, and I'll show you the outside. I just started the baubles, the first bauble row. This is not going great. So this is all I have to show you, but there's a lot of short rows in the back, which I did, and then look, it's my first little baubles. There's one too, and yeah, it's a raglan detail with a twisted rib. So far so great. It's at this point where I have to pay a lot of attention because of the short rows. So it's not really a mindless project yet, but it will be, I think. Also, you might have noticed, well, maybe not because it's still quite long, but I went to the hairdresser when I was on Texel, and she actually chopped off quite, I can't joke. Here. I think I lost like 8 to 10 centimeters, but it's still really long. And we went for some highlights. I wanted a really ashy color, which she did really well. But even it has unleashed something in me, let me tell you. Some of the highlights turned out even more ashy than I thought I wanted, because they turned out a little bit lilac. You people, I want lilac hair now. Like, I'm not ready to commit to full lilac hair, but I'm going to go by the hair specialist shop that's down the street. I'm going to ask for their best purple shampoo, because lilac highlights is something I'm here for, and I didn't think I would be, but it has unleashed something. Okay, so those are all my works in progress. Having quite a lot of fun with it, I have to say. Let's take a sip. Don't forget to hydrate. Then I have some plans, and then I have some acquisitions that are of the fabric variety. My first plan is I asked for recommendations last time on a textured sock that is quite repetitive, and I got great recommendations that I wrote down in my notebook. So the two that I didn't go for, that I wrote down, there's more, I didn't write down everything yet, but there is the heel toe do si do sock by the Crazy Sock Lady. That looked really cool. There's also the crunkled socks that also look really cool, and somebody DM'd me on Instagram with a recommendation from the 52 weeks of socks, which also look really cool. But I think 20 people told me about their Hermione Everyday Socks, which is a free pattern. I'll write it down below. Oh, sorry, crinkling. And since then, I have downloaded and printed the pattern, and I think I have found the yarns that I want to use. I didn't get round to setting them up. I should have just set them up so I could have started, but the last days before the holiday were... Oh, there's another siren. Let's wait it out. So the Hermione Everyday Sock, which is named after Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. You can't see it, but one shelf above is my Harry Potter shelf, and I'm quite the fan. But I did find 2 yarns that I want to use for these socks. But here we go again. I have a question for you. So these are Mondim yarns. I really like them. I started using my recently finished socks that were also in Mondim, and they're great. I wear my socks. I'm not precious about hand knit socks, which is a really good test on the durability of the yarn. For example, I use the onion yarn for socks, which are superwash merino with nettle, and I wear my socks in my Dr. Martens, so they're boots and just any kind of shoe I'm wearing. And the onion yarn socks, they're starting to look a bit weird, like they're not fat. I will do a recap of all the socks I knit, coming down to the point that the Mondim is great. So I have these 2 colors. I'll put them side by side. So they're a rust and a really dark green. Oh, and there's a hair. Last episode should have been shedding. The green is color 308, and then the rust is 302. But I'm not sure which should be the contrast. So the cuff, heel, toe, and which should be the main body of the sock, leg, foot, you know what I mean. So should I use the green for the rib? Speaking today is not my strong suit. Should I use this for the contrast, so the cuff, heel, toe, or should I use the rust? Let me know, because I'm torn. I could also do one sock in one way and the other sock in the other way, because I tend to just mix up socks anyways. Not for my hand knit socks, but I could start that. Okay, so that is a plan. The Hermione Everyday Socks, which is a free pattern that I'll link maybe not link, but I'll write it down below. I also cut out a Cielo top by Closet Core Patterns. That I'm going to sew up, and I'll show you the fabric of it. It's a bit crinkly, sorry. So this is the fabric. It's Birds. You might recognize it from the diaper bag that I made, and I cut it out in the same size I usually wear. The only alteration I made to this pattern is I lengthened it by 6 centimeters. And for this version, I moved the bust dart down a bit. I didn't alter it well, I did alter it because I moved it down, but I just literally just moved it down. I think 3 or 4 centimeters, because the bust dart should always point to, what is it called? Your apex. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but I understand it as like the middle of your breast. I don't know. It should point towards the fullest of your breast, and this pointed more up, so it made a weird little wonky bit. Just a bit more creaking, I'm sorry. I'll edit it out. So I'm making that one. Yeah, so those are my plans, immediate plans, and then I have more immediate plans, but they also involve acquisitions. I have a lot of fabric, but then I saw more fabric, so I bought more fabric. But I have already decided what I'm going to make with it, so, and I know that's going to be a useful addition to my wardrobe, so it's all good. I'm not against buying stuff. I prefer to buy mindfully, which I sometimes forget when I'm feeling bad and I just want something new, which is just learned behavior, right? Okay, so I bought 3 meters of this fabric, and I can tell you what it is. It is called Summer Viella Jeans Flowers. It's by Koka Japan, and it's a cotton linen blend. And I haven't ironed it because I already washed it. Because I tried to pre-wash everything before I put it in my stash. That way, when the need gets to me, I can just pull it out and go. But it's this beautiful fabric. Mind you, it's not ironed, but it's not that bad, because usually linen wrinkles quite a bit because it's linen. I don't know why, but that's just the quality of linen. But because this is a cotton linen blend, I hung this up and this is how it came out. And it's just, look at that. It's like a jeans background and then these lovely flowers, and I got 3 meters of it, but it's not very wide. So what I'm hoping is that I can get a Winslow culottes out of these, the same ones I made for my grandmother, and I'm going to add the slash pocket, and then I hope that I can also make a Ashton top with the sleeve addition to it, which is also by, both patterns are by Helen's Closet Patterns Company. I've made both patterns before. I really like them. I wear them a lot, so I think they will be a great addition to my wardrobe. And when I make this into 2 separates, I can wear it together as like a faux jumpsuit, but I can also wear it separately, which makes it really versatile. And I love having pants that look like a skirt, but are pants with pockets. It's just everything you want. So that's both an acquisition and a plan. Then, more wrinkling, sorry. I also bought, well, I'll give you a hint. I bought a Kylie and a Machine jeans hardware kit, which has 2 zippers, long zippers, because I like high-waisted jeans, and rivets and buttons and everything you need. Premium supplies for your jeans making journey. I made jeans before. I made a ginger jeans by Closet Core Patterns, and I made the Dawn jeans that I just showed you by Megan Nielsen. And I bought this lovely denim. It's denim. It's dark denim, but I can tell you what it's bio, so it's organic deep denim sky's the color, and then it's stretch, and it's HOTS certified. So HOTS means that it has been made with the environment and the people producing it in mind. So that's another acquisition. I also bought another Kylie and a Machine thing. It's a dungarees hardware kit in matte black. Because I am going to make another Yanta overalls, but then a shorts version in some canvas that I have lying upstairs, and it's going to be great. Not sure when I'm going to get around to it, but now at least I have all the hardware that I need, because I really enjoy the Yanta overalls are originally with a button, but I really enjoy the dungarees closure, and it also gives you a lot of flexibility about how high or low you want the dungarees to hang off your body, basically. So excited about that. Then the last thing that I bought is maybe a bit weird to talk about, but I'm going to anyways. I bought a kit from, oh, by the way, all the fabrics and stuff I showed you that I recently bought, I bought from Ansje.eu, which is a fabric store in the Netherlands, and they focus on sustainable fabrics and materials, which is really great, because I can buy what I want from them without having to worry overly much about the sustainability of the fabric that I'm going for, because they've done the thinking for me, which is great. So there's a bit more wrinkling. Hold on. So I bought a period panties fabric kit. So I've made my own underwear before, and I like wearing period underwear because you can just wash it and reuse it, and there is no large amount of waste. You do use water to wash them, but so they have these kits, and they have this pool material that is both absorbent and it doesn't leak from the back, and then this jersey and fold over elastic. So I'm going to try and make my own period panties. This is probably the last time that you'll see this fabric, because I'm not sure how comfortable I am sharing my underwear on camera. But yeah, I think it'll be great. I hope to get... so it's designed for at least one pair, and if you make a small, you can probably get 2 pairs out of the jersey. But I have enough like underwear fabric that I could use. So it's really about making this absorbent stuff last. So I have to do some clever cutting. Yeah, really excited about that. Okay. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Some more crinkling. Sorry. So I think this is going to be quite a long episode. After I'm done talking, I'm going to take you along on a trip to Texel, which is where my parents were there for a week, and I just decided to do a little visit. So I drove down after my work on Thursday, and then we went out for dinner, and it was lovely. And then on Saturday, we went for some coffee, and I went to the hairdresser, which took a surprising short amount of time. Usually when I get my hair colored as well, I sit there for about 4 to 5 hours, but this time they had 2 people putting in the highlights, so it only took 2.5, I think. I have quite a lot of hair. When I make an appointment at a hairdresser, I always have to say, yeah, I'm that girl with the hair. It's a lot. But you know, it's great. I'm not complaining overly much. If you like this episode, it would be great if you give it a like, or you can subscribe to stick around. If you are interested in any of my project bags, you can find my shop on Etsy. It's called Studio Nora Amsterdam. Just one word. I will also link it down below. I am reading 2 books at the moment. Well, I'm reading multiple books, but I just started this and it's quite interesting. I'm almost halfway. It's called Untamed, Stop Pleasing, Start Living by Glennon Doyle. And this is the cover. I have to say that the cover, I'm not really into pink or glitter or any of that. And the cover didn't really appeal to me, but it was recommended by Maisie Hill from Period Power, and she recommended this book, and I started reading it. I bought it, I started reading it, and it's really So it's sort of like a memoir / advice book. So on the back it says, forceful and tender, Untamed is both an intimate memoir and a galvanizing wake-up call about what is possible when we step out of our cages and say, here I am. So at first I thought this book is a bit too much. It's really, like, the cover is really loud, and it seemed very like, liberate yourself, which is, it's good, it's fine, but it seemed too loud for me. But it's really interesting read, and the chapters are really short, so it's really, I think I've been reading it for a couple of days, and I'm already at page 124, so it's really interesting. So if you're looking for some, what would the genre be? Like, self-help? No, it's not really self-help. It's just an interesting book. Look it up. I'm also reading Terry Pratchett, A Blink of the Screen, which is a collection of shorter fiction, and they are chronological. So it starts with the first short story Terry Pratchett ever wrote, and then it just goes through. I didn't use a bookmark, but some short stories are just like, it's one bit of I'm on page 52. Some short stories are just a page of dialogue, and some are several pages long. There's pictures in it, and it's a great little read. I'm hoping to get some short stories for my kids, my pupils from here, but we'll see. I have two recommendations. One is the Nina Maria podcast. I'm sorry, Nina, if that's not the name of your podcast. I'm going to link it down below. She does a podcast in English and one in German, which takes a tremendous amount of time, and she has shared some great resources with me on, like, the history of knitting. Recently, she sent me a link or a message on Instagram for a book by Rosa Pomar, of whom I'm a fan of, as you might know, because I have all her yarns. But she wrote a book on Portuguese knitting, which also goes into some history of Portuguese knitting, and I put it down on my wish list. The wish list is ever growing, but I put that down, and her podcast is really nice. And then another podcast that I really like is the Bluebird Box knitting podcast. Anna, she is a knitwear designer, and she has a podcast now. She lives in Canada, and she makes great podcasts. She also makes great patterns. I haven't yet tried any of her patterns, but there are several on my wish list. And on Instagram she shares a lot about her sheep, and they're really funny, and I really like it, so go check them out. They're great. Yeah, I think that is all I have to share with you today. If you want to join me for my trip to Texel and a visit to the local yarn shop and to see what I bought for roving, I think I'll show it off in the next episode. I'll spend some time with you showing off my spinning wheel and the new yarn that I got. No, not yarn, it's wool. It's roving, that I'm going to spin up into really cool yarn, hopefully. So yeah, that's all I got. If you have any advice regarding the color choices for the socks, which should be the heel, cuff and toe, and which should be the body, feet, leg of the sock, let me know. If you're participating in Me Made May, let me know what your pledge is or what you think your pledge will be. I will rephrase my pledge and post it on Instagram to hold myself accountable, but I'm not going to pledge that I will post to Instagram every day, because that just won't happen, I think. So yeah, that is all. I wish you lots of crafting time for yourself, and I'll see you next time. Take care.